So you know how cars after 20 or 30 years become classics, um, especially a brand of a car that not too many people know about. Like if you have a DeLorean, you might as well restore it. Back to the Future or something. I've been researching reggae for 15 years. I got so far, and then I put it down and picked it up later, and it got like a little bit further as far as like discovering any more of it. That I think that is at least I know there's a lot more than I could listen to or know about in a lifetime, but the thing is that can you find it? And it's like Spanish bullion or something now, to the extent that if you like reggae music like is really expensive, like vinyl or any like decent recording, even if it's not a hit song, is still gonna drive a really high price. So it's like you go out there with like metal detector or something, but instead of a metal detector, maybe you have a relative or somebody like that. And because they had something called Ramblers, they're like, they didn't stick around to be paid. They would cut an album, and they wouldn't stick around to be paid. And it was like because it was the loudest island in the world, and saturation doesn't mean that you're going to lose interest in making music just because you've reached the pinnacle. And so they were like, it's almost like religious. Like if you cut albums and didn't stick around to be paid, and it was during the time that the island of Jamaica was at the pinnacle, that's even before it reached mainstream popularity. It reached mainstream popularity later on, and then most people got such a snippet, such a tiny amount, like so their opinion is formulated based on not hearing 99.999% of the reggae. And even like even if you don't like it, you can still imagine how somebody else would like it. And not Hunter S. Thompson, but somebody else. So if you know somebody who has an album that was cut by a Rambler who's not sticking around to be paid and didn't ever get popular or mainstream, nobody even heard the song, it was never a hit, all it has to be is reggae, and it has to be from the era. And if it's from the era and it is reggae, and you can understand how somebody might like it, even if you don't like it, you can sell that motherfucker for a lot of money. It's like Spanish bullion. Not everybody, it's not always popular. It's one of those things that went out of popularity more times than I can count, and comes back. It's almost never cool, but it's always, it's always like re-emerging as a slightly evolved form or something a little bit different. I won't say every evolution is even a good evolution. To be honest, I like early risers and I like Rocksteady. I never got into Blue Beat, even though there's a couple songs that are in Blue Beat that I do like, but I don't like most of it. Doesn't matter. Lord Creator is awesome. I'm sure that he has I've only heard probably 10% of his output, because they didn't need to stand around and wait for permission to release tracks if they can press their own albums. Who's really good? The Regulars, and oh, Jackie Opel, and Blue Beat. But I don't really like Blue Beat, but that doesn't matter because I'd be listening to Blue Beat driving down the street. I'd be listening to Blue Beat practically almost every other day. I just don't, the genre is just not my favorite. I like a lot more percent. So like, let's say you like 2% of Blue Beat. So you like Rocksteady more, okay. What's the percentage of Rocksteady that is just right up my alley that I like? It's probably like 4 or 5% instead of 1. So then I think I like Rocksteady a lot. Early Risers is like about 15%, so that's just astronomical. You like 15% of the Early Risers. It doesn't mean my taste is better than anybody else. Because people don't even make music for fans. Nobody actually ever has made a song, wrote a song, or performed for a fan. Like, that's what was tragic about, let's say, The Clash. Because they have this potential. I heard a song from The Clash that was fucking excellent, and I can't find it nowhere. I can't find it. It was just a snippet that was in a documentary, not even the documentary. Like, there's like a few documentaries on The Clash, and there was one documentary, and they played a snippet of a song that you can't find on any CDs or any torrent file or anything. And I looked for that song all over the place because they nailed the era that I was in for what time it was with the reggae and the reemergence of reggae. And it was like, that was awesome. They could have been a freaking awesome band, but they got raped. They got raped. Can you say that? They got essayed. They got essayed by mainstream. They basically present to people like, this is this new genre you've never heard of before. It's trendy. It's hip. People are into it, and fucking have at it. Okay, like they say like, this is Calypso Callaloo. This is ska. Welcome to it. You're welcome to it, and you'll form your opinion based off of a couple of fucking compilation CDs, and then try to go to Hot Topic and put together the look or something like that. This is really fucking awful. It'd be better if some people never heard of a Bible, if they never knew what a Bible was, you know what I mean? And some of those are the people that like don't do that much like overtly that you can tell that they're living their life wrong. It's just that for all of the attributes they have, they'll just fucking rub it in their scalp and give them a pat on the back, and it's fucking good for you. Good for you. There's nothing, you know what I'm saying? There's nothing really like that's good for you. I can't argue. That's good for you. See? But why do they want to trade it in for some recognition from somebody who doesn't even love them as much as, you know what I'm saying, who has to love themselves more than they can ever love you. And there's nothing wrong with that. So there's nothing even wrong with that. There's even some people that are way smarter than me that by digesting a little bit of their content and not having figured it all out, then I have too much knowledge for my own good, and I haven't even pieced it all together. So do they have too much knowledge for their own good? Not necessarily. It's like, if you know more than me and you have it all pieced together, it doesn't mean you have too much knowledge for your own good. What is too much knowledge for my own good? The difference between somebody who has it all pieced together that I'm listening to, and to try to figure it out, I'm trying to talk to my people. I'm trying to work with my people to help me get, have you ever, I like drop little things in there and like, have you ever heard of this? Is this like concept? Torture this concept, torture that concept. See what come of it. And they're like, you're really smart. What school did you go to? And I'm like, oh shit, they're dismissing me right now. The only reason you're asking me what school I went to is so you can dismiss my logic. Because it's very hard to dismiss the logic of someone who is giving you a different perspective than you heard before. So you ask them what school you went to. Like, you're smart. Well, what school did you go to? But they'll be talking about some shit that no school ever teaches. There's no class. There's no seminar. There's no nothing. Independent writers or something. So yeah, independent writers, they don't have those in school. You don't hear about them. And I mean, I'm saying everything that's mainstream is bad. Some things that are mainstream is very good. It's just that the good stuff in mainstream is being washed away. It's being wiped away. I know, I could tell you, Instant Noodle Generation and what's it called? The Little Emperors and everything came and passed, and we're on some, it's still going. Doom Generation and everything. The Zoomers, zoom, zoom. All I want to do is zoom, zoom, and boom, boom. Like, fucking, what? Yeah, because I'm probably too young to be shanking your rump anyways. Not that listening to R&B is, you know what I'm saying, that's devil music, you know. It's actually a jazz album called Devil Music because it was somebody helped him to name the album. Like, he was like, what do I name my jazz album? And somebody was like, you know what, this shit is devil music. And he was like, you know what? I got it. That's it. That's fucking it right there.